When it comes to the NFL and its international policy, its growing international policy, initiative, agenda, whatever word you want to use, how far would be too far for the NFL? How far is crossing the line? Where is the line for the NFL? 310-840-4910. Because there's a headline in the NFL this week you might have missed, but is awful, awful news for football fans. Let me put it this way. The NFL's international policy is bad, bad news for football fans. The news this week, they're going to continue to play more international games. That's not the issue. But the news that was coupled with it is what you should be red in the face about. If you're in an NFL city, if you know businesses or work at a business or own a business that is positively affected by having NFL games played in your city, you should take issue with this news. There should have been an uprising that, frankly, we did not see this week. Based on this headline alone, the NFL is no longer allowing teams to protect certain home games from being international dates. This is awful. Think about certain rivalries. How wrong it would feel if the Bears hypothetically don't visit Lambeau Field in a given year, or if the Steelers don't visit Baltimore, or vice versa. Think about the NFC East rivalries. But protections are even more necessary when you think about cross-conference games. A good example this year, one of the monumental marquee games on the NFL slate is when the Chiefs visit the Seattle Seahawks. It's Kenneth Walker's return to Seattle. It's the Super Bowl MVP facing his former team. Two really good. This is a high-level game. This would be the type of game the NFL might look at and say, you know what? If no protections exist, maybe we'll send that game to Dublin. High-level game. Just like they did with LA, the Rams facing San Francisco and Australia in the opener. But the reason why that would be awful for a cross-conference game, this is the first time that Seattle's faced Kansas City in 4 years. That's what you normally get with cross-conference games. Your cycle, you play each other for every 4 years. But that means that you don't visit certain NFL stadiums, but every 8 years. Because if it's a rotation, 4 years ago was in Kansas City at Arrowhead, and then it was 4 years before that, the last time they visited Seattle. That was the first year that Patrick Mahomes was the starting quarterback for the Chiefs. The next time he's slated to visit Seattle is 2034. Do you think that's a good thing? That certain teams don't visit certain cities? Like, your marquee team, your marquee quarterback doesn't visit Seattle for 16 years, or maybe only plays there once in his entire NFL career? That's not good. And you teams should be able to protect certain home games because they know that better than probably the schedule makers do, having to account for so much just to put the damn thing together, put that grid together. And there are way more than enough games to schedule around this, especially when the league ultimately expands to 18 games per team. But really, this is about a message that the NFL is sending that isn't a good one. It's a recent message that the NFL has sent, and the message is this. We've taken the American football audience for granted. We know we have you captured. You're willing to show up in millions to cities to watch the draft for 3 days, and we can sell that to cities, traveling it around the city to city. You will watch an NFL schedule release show on network TV in prime time or on cable TV, even though you've known the opponents for months. You'll watch the combine on national television as well. We know we have you. We could put an entire halftime show in Spanish and it be completely fine in the most watched show, period, in American television history. And the reason they said they did it was to reach international audiences, reach people that don't like football yet. And in turn, taking games away from those that do already love football. So again, the question is, how far is too far for the NFL to go? This is the same mistake. Was thinking a lot about NASCAR. because my feet are on the ground in North Carolina. The Coca-Cola 600 is Sunday. Kyle Busch passed away in our state. Tragic, tragic news. But when NASCAR was at its peak in the 2000s, Kyle Busch was the villain. You had Tony Stewart, Jeff Gordon, and they decided they had the same policy. Hey, we need the sport to grow, so we're going to try to go to untraditional markets, go to places that generally don't like stock car racing, and we're going to prioritize that over going to certain southern tracks and having certain races that have always been in certain places on holiday weekends and moving things around. Just talk to the folks at Darlington, talk to the folks at North Wilkesboro, They took it for granted. Hey, let's go to New Hampshire. Let's go to Vegas. Let's go to let's go to California. Let's try to grow NASCAR. And if you look at the ratings in the 2000s, they were incredible for a long period of time. But then last decade, the ratings, they nosedived. And what NASCAR found was the fans that they took for granted in the South, they decided to do something else. They weren't there once they figured out they care so much about them. Could that happen to the NFL? This international policy, it's not a breaking point, by the way. Not saying that it is. But I do believe there could be one. And there are two moves that come to mind that would be breaking points on this front. If they send a Super Bowl overseas, that would be a bridge too far. The shining American event, the Super Bowl, going to London would be a horrific look. By the way, congrats to Nashville. We learned this week getting the 2030 Super Bowl officially. And the other thing, if they just sent a team overseas, as has been discussed, that would be too far. It would be absurd. It would be a risk, and it would not be positive. Those would be moves that could be breaking points on this front. But this international policy is trending in the direction of the NFL doing too much and maybe crossing some lines that are going to anger football fans, or at least should anger football fans.